Hi everybody, welcome back to my studio and welcome to my home. I'm inside my house right now instead of my studio because the day got away from me. I didn't even have a chance to paint, but that's not to say that I didn't get artsy things done. So I'm showered because I gardened and it was a very humid day and I cleaned that up, but I set up a new studio for myself in my basement. So I want to do abstracts, but I don't want to do them in my studio. I just don't have enough room. The studio where I do most of my work for my galleries is only about 11 by 21. And I'm trying to set them up and I'm doing the foundations of abstracts in there. Come on, let me show you, and then I'll show you what I did today. This is the reality of my studio today. Today, I went all through everything and reorganized, emptied out my car. These are 12 by 12s that were painted at my gallery. These are scrap canvases that I have brought home from the print shop so that I can staple them to this piece of wood and start some abstracts on them and then do oils. So I had a question from another friend, another artist, who said, why don't you just do your abstracts in acrylic, which is the medium that I know very, very well. And I thought, I understand that question, and maybe ultimately I will go back to that. But at this point, I'm trying to stretch myself, and learning a new medium is part of it. So in my studio today, it's a bit of a hot mess. I need to clean up, I need to sort, because I can't even really walk in here to even start a painting. But I'll show you what I've got going on before I show you what I did in my house. So here's my front door. I've got canvases primed and ready to go. I've got a finished painting that I need to sign. I've got a painting, a 48 by 60 inch painting that I need to finish that I won't probably be able to get to until Tuesday. It's going to be a big, wonderful weekend. I have to be at my gallery, Crown and Press, because there's an opening tomorrow with artists bringing in new work. And then on Sunday, I'm teaching a class to 30 people. That's very exciting, but that makes the weekend very full. And then on Monday, there is a local art show that I love to go to that I will be going to. So here is my my setup. Again, I've got everything kind of out. I should come in and put things away. You'll notice that I have canvases hanging and on my easel. And what this does for me is it gives me an opportunity to get used to the shape and to kind of feel what I may want to do on them. I don't know if that sounds a little mystical, but it does give me an idea of the shape and kind of what kind of reference material I want to use, things like that. So this is what's going on here. I may have to take about 10 or 15 minutes to set this up so that when I do get back here on Tuesday, I don't waste my initial energy on cleaning this up. Here's a little fun little painting that I'm working on that I need a fresh palette to finish. This is from my holiday, which that is as well. I can't wait to show you that. This, I've got a video out that's coming out tomorrow, I believe, to show you a little bit of how I do some of the distant trees. But let's go see what I thought I was going to do and then what I ended up doing. I will have to walk through my garden to get to the garage, and I'm gonna get distracted and I'm gonna have to show you everything. Isn't this a lovely garden? So much inspiration, color, layer, form. All right, I digress. But look at this frame right here. Look at that. I love my garden. All right, back to the video. I'll take you in. This is where I was planning to work on oils. So he has a storage area, which is really wonderful. And then there was this big double garage. So this is where my canvases, my big canvases are stored. And this is where Doug paints them red for me, which is wonderful. He's very proud of that. He was going to give me this wall. So I was going to put my abstracts on that wall, use this table, but then he worked on a project and created so much dirt and dust, and it is his garage. It is his garage. I said that, and then I had to turn the camera around and I had to say, it is his garage. I have to be able to give him his space without invading it all the time. So someone said, you have a basement. And I thought, I do have a basement. I have a fairly large storage room. And so I started by taking some things down. So let me show you. We'll head down to the basement. Now, it's a bit of a journey between the two spaces. Like I'm going to have to come in and go around. Here's the toy room. This is my storage room here. Turn on a light. This is the furnace room. And then I have, and now I'm really blessed, don't be jealous, of this great big storage room here. Doug's gonna add a couple of more lights for me, but I've moved all of these abstracts down here. And another reason why I needed to move them down is because it's summertime, it's humid out. Nothing was drying outside either. So here we go. Take a look at what I'm doing. I'm thinking these are kind of fun. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up down here. I'm going to rearrange some of the storage, get a couple of easels, use some tables. I'm probably going to add another table here so it's extra wide, and use some tables down here to do my oils. Now, the ventilation isn't going to be great. I'm going to get a dehumidifier, but I'm not going to be working down here for hours and hours like I do with my traditional work until I get a barn. Now, getting a barn is the dream. I keep looking at the realtor.ca here in Canada and putting in a filter word of barn. I'm not finding anything yet. And we did find one great big huge barn, which would be great. And then Doug said it needed to be insulated, and he's a contractor and he's like $40,000-$50,000 to just insulate the barn. So I may just have to make do with what I've got. And this glaring, look at this, look at that glaring light. So I have to figure out some better lighting, but it's air conditioned down here. It's cool. The dehumidifier is going to help things dry. Look at this. I think this is fun so far. So this is my acrylic foundation. I did this in the studio the other day. This is on an old sign for garden tour that I didn't need anymore. So I thought I would just paint over it. And what do you think, guys? Do you think I can be creative down here? I've got rubber on the floor. I can splash around. It's just a storage room. I got to make sure that I cover up the things I don't want splashed. But that was today's activity. So this is how it goes sometimes. You don't always get to actually paint. sometimes you just have to rearrange things. I've always wanted to live in Grimsby, so we'll see what we can find in Grimsby. Grimsby is in Ontario. We'll go up to the filter and we'll type in barn. Because, you know, who cares what the house looks like? I'm lying. I do care what the house looks like. Let's see. Here's the barn. I'm going to show you the barn. The house was great. Here's the barn. Isn't that marvelous? Like, okay, look at this barn. I still think it can be done. So this is the barn. Doug could have this floor here. We could make, just dream with me a little bit, guys. We could make some grand entrance up to the second floor. And then this is the second floor. But this is what would need insulation, because this, all of this is simply tin between the elements and the room, and we live in Canada. So there's the barn of my dreams. Look at all the parking. Everybody could come visit. We could have a gallery. Doug could just, you know, go in. Don't you think this is the dream? Wow. So I don't think I'm gonna get a barn anytime soon. So I do have to make do with the basement. But I'm kind of excited. I took everything down. Another reason the garage wasn't working, because it was just so hot and the oils were melting. So it was even creating even a bigger mess. So I might wear a mask while I'm down there if I'm using any spirits or anything like that. If you've got any tips on wonderful ways to ventilate or what you do with your oils, let me know. But I'm proud of myself. I even though the day kind of went sideways, and that's what happens, please tell me what sidelines you in your day. When you get up, I was up at 6 o'clock this morning, ready to get out there and paint. And then instead I ended up cleaning a garage, getting a million steps because I had to go from the garage to the basement. Who needs to go to the gym? I totally worked out. And then of course, I got distracted by the garden and had to do some trimming. And now I've got a big project because I saw something and Doug's gonna hate me. But I want you to tell me what distracts you and how you push through it. So tomorrow I have to be at the gallery for an opening. If you're in Hamilton at all, please come down and see Crown and Press anytime. We've always got great artists up. And on Sunday, I'm teaching a class. So this YouTube, I kind of go over a lot of the things that I teach in the class. If you at all are local and you want to come, I've got a class happening in October. But this YouTube, I think you're going to get a lot of information. So like and subscribe. Have a great weekend. It's a long weekend here in Canada. Wherever you are, have a wonderful day and do something artsy. Okay? Tell me what you did.